Deals, and today we're going to discuss a $3,000 desktop SLS system, or well, if it's real or not. We got subsidies for 3D printing in Canada, and we've got a new printer that'll help us find settings. So let's start with the subsidies thing. So Trudeau, the Prime Minister of Canada, is heavily under fire on the housing crisis, or the housing affordability crisis in Canada. Essentially, housing prices have risen very, very quickly. Either through outside investors' income, or just having a lot of people, or just because it's an investment class a lot of people want to invest in, or a whole combination of these things. And housing price increases have outstripped rises in income. So it's very, very difficult right now in Canada to, especially in an urban center or something, to afford a home. And if you're kind of a normal income, let's say you're a fireman and a teacher living together, you would even find it very difficult in a lot of areas to find a home. So this is a big problem for Trudeau. And now he has found a solution. Well, at least it's a solution that shows that he cares, right? And this is a subsidy to scale up new materials and things for housing. Another subsidy about $30 million for modular housing, better timber, and 3D printing for construction. And another smaller subsidy for kind of a thingiverse for houses. So you have a pre-approved plans that you can download, and then you can get approval to build a home much quicker. I'm sure architects will love that one. So generally, I think this shows that Trudeau cares. It shows that it's an issue. It shows that he's doing something about it. Will it have an effect on housing prices? We're talking the whole subsidy is like somewhere less than $100 million. I think maybe at one point, a pre-approved library of houses will save some costs somewhere, and maybe some 3D printed houses will really make an impact. But hey, we're not entirely sure. This won't, in a near term, next 12 months, make houses in Vancouver more affordable or something like that. So it's good that they're doing it. If Trudeau reaps benefits from this, it saves him, and he gets reelected, then of course we will see a much more stimulation for housing and digital housing subsidies. But if it doesn't have any effect, then this will have a detrimental effect for us. Now, the next item we have is, this is something from the Center of Bits and Atoms at MIT, the U.S. National Institute for Standards and Technology, the NIST, and National Center for Scientific Research in Greece, which is called Demokritos. What they've done is something really interesting. They've essentially put, we know that people are putting flow meters and other kind of diagnostics equipment on nozzles. What they've done is they've modified an extruder to measure the flow and the forces inside the extruder. Now, we know that people are doing this already. We probably think that this is a patent grab on the part of MIT. But given the fact that a modified flow and also a measuring of the flow could be really important to dose the printer to get better results from it. And also to qualify materials and to understand materials. So what they hope to do with this is that you would be able to, with this automated nozzle assembly, to kind of feed a new material, completely unknown material in there, and then most of the settings can be defined by the machine doing this. Now, this of course would save us a ton of work. I would save a lot of materials companies, a lot of 3D printer companies, a lot of work as well. And we don't know yet if this is going to be something that some materials manufacturer will buy and use, or if it's something that will be used on a bunch of different printers by a bunch of different people. But I think it's a good step forward, and that's published in Integrating Materials and Manufacturing Innovation, as by Jake Robert Reed, Jonathan Sopala, Philippos Tourlomosis, and a bunch of other people, including Neil Gershenfeld. So that's nice. Now, the biggest news today, I think the thing that we will mostly be talking about today, was something that happened a couple of days ago. As a YouTube video appeared of a $2,000 or $3,000, sorry, a desktop SLS printer. So this Material Extrusion system is available for less than half the price of the Sinter Lisa, a third or fourth of the price of the Fuse by Formlabs. Is not available for purchase at the moment, right? There's a website, there's a video, and there will be, and the person announcing this has said that a bunch of more videos will come on explaining the system and how it was engineered. It will launch hopefully in the coming months, but you can't go out and buy this. There isn't even a Kickstarter or something like that. It's just kind of like a pre-launch news, all right? Now, these people or persons, all right, I think it's one person doing this, because there's a person on Reddit that got some information earlier, and they're a Reddit user, and they have basically said that I have created a new desktop sintering solution. So it appears that maybe one person developed this by themselves, which is insane, given all the stuff that they needed to do and how long this would have taken to get this thing right. But it may be, and sometimes the same person refers to we'll call him Luke, because I think his name's Luke, refers to them as being a we. So we're not sure if it's one guy doing this all by himself or one guy that did this for a while and got a bunch of help. We have no idea. But there are some really interesting things in this, right? So first, they wrote their own slicing software. They used Unreal Engine to do it, which is interesting. They used then the physics simulation in Unreal to optimize like part collision and nesting, right? There's a removable build chamber in it. You can order them separately. They say they have like a glass enclosed kind of area in the build chamber to make reheating the build much faster. They also say they have a novel recoater, which works kind of like a scooper, and the material goes into a bin, and auger carries it upward. The scooper then spreads it, and then the fans open up, and then the material is spread out, and then the scooper helps to smooth it, which is a nifty way around a lot of the recoater patents, but it sounds super complicated. And then this is it. Then a new layer is printed or smooth, right? And that new layer is smooth. The excess powder is pushed back down, right? And then the new layer is printed, or a new layer of powder is spread, and the new layer is printed. That excess powder that is does not go into a waste bin, but it goes back into the bin of the powder that is reheated to put in the printer. And they say that will actually improve the time to reheat powder. I'm not entirely sure if this is real. I don't know if you can actually do this, and I don't know if that would actually make sense. It also sounds really complicated, by the way. Now, what they also did is for this 160 to 160 by 200 millimeter printer, they've got a 5 watt diode laser. The price of those have been coming down, so that's good. That's really attractive. I still don't understand how you could do this for 3K. I don't know. All right. Also, it's made in the United States of America. They say it's made in the U.S. for $3,000. I cannot understand this. Okay. Another system that they have is they have a kind of scoop system to take out the whole build box. Then you put it in a separate box, which is basically a sieve and 2 containers. And then you shake the whole box, and then the residue powder goes to the bottom, and the parts stay at the top. I think that's cute. That's nice. They developed their own galvo system from scratch. Now, a lot of people have been doing engineering on the motion stage or on the galvo, but trying to overcome the costs of we basically have really, really cheap galvos or really, really expensive ones. So, this is going to be a way around it. Develop their own galvo hardware. They also sell materials. They are selling 5 liters of PA12 at the moment for $219, although it's just in the shop. You can't actually buy it. They hope to, at one point, have TPU, PA11, PA12 GF, and polypropylene, right? And, I don't know. This is like the X-Files. I want to believe, right? I really want to believe, because a $3,000 printer, that is in a lot of people's price range that would not be able to afford like a $7,000 and $10,000 printer. If you look at, they have a sieving station and all that you're talking about like something that's like a $5,000 kind of thing for the whole setup, or maybe even less. And that would just make it really affordable to a lot more businesses, a lot more people. And selective laser sintering, the power to bed fusion is a good way to make a few hundred things in a batch quite quickly, quite accurately, quite durably. It's porous. The look and feel is not for everybody, but it's quite a tough and quite a durable kind of material. You can use PA11, PA12, and it's a great way to make more design variability than we usually are used to getting from FDM. Still quite durable, and the only problem has been with affordability. But I know that making a powder bed fusion system is a super complicated thing. It took HP a lot longer than they thought to make their MGF solution. It took Formlabs, which is a formidable engineering company as well, a lot longer to make their SLS solution as well. And the problem is not so much as like the core engineering of the thing, but getting everything to work exactly right and getting the parts to come out precisely again and again and again. So this is a huge challenge. If this has been done by just one individual or even a small group of people in a startup, that would be a really, really wow, kind of really amazing achievement. So I congratulate them for getting this far, but still, going from, I know that the difficult journey is not just going from the architecture, it's going from the architecture to a workable system. So over the next couple of months, we have to, let's temper our enthusiasm a little bit. Let's be nice and healthily skeptical towards this. And let's wait until people test this thing and then take it for a test drive and see how it works. Because they promise to have no mess, which has always been a big problem of selective laser sintering, that you have this powder getting everywhere, you have this vacuum all the time, which is super annoying. They promised that it would be like a safe person. They also are saying things like how we built a 3D printer that can print anything. And that makes me a little bit nervous. It makes me distrust people, because we know that with the SLS pattern fusion, there's a wider array of things we can make. We can't make everything. We can't make anything. We're limited by size. We're limited by wall thickness. We're limited by a lot of things, right? So, there's some quotes and things here that make me very, very skeptical. But first off, whoever did this is a great achievement. There's some really, really nifty engineering stuff in here, really, really cool stuff, inspiring stuff. And but then getting this system from this kind of prototype state, into the hands of people for 3K, damn, I don't know. You just look at some of the BOM costs. Just try to add some of the stuff up. It's going to be a formidable challenge. But hey, if they make it happen, that could make the market much, much larger. So, power to them if they make this happen. And I hope they prove our skepticism wrong. But hey, let's, be a little bit, reticent in, prepaying things or something if that happens at one point. So anyway, my name's Joris Peels. This is courtesy of 3dprint.com. And it's a quite exciting day, actually, I think, in the world of 3D printing. And yeah,